Hi there everybody, this is David, and I've been playing Sparking Nights for roughly a month or so now. First before I tried out the demo, and now again that it has entered early access. And the more that I play it, the more that I do fall in love with it. This here is a really cool, beautiful turn-based RPG harkening back to the SNES and PlayStation 1 days, with beautiful graphics, a riveting storyline, a fully fleshed out world, tons of characters, and tons to see and do. And it is today's video sponsor, and I do want to tell you all about it, and I definitely do think to support the sub as you come and you level up with me and you join our party. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So now come along with me and let's dive right on in to everything that Sparking Nights has to offer. First things first, you do need to know this is not a gacha game. This is not a free-to-play game. You can purchase it on the PC via Steam, and again, it did just enter early access. So if you do want to try it out for yourself, please just click the links below to wishlist it, try out the free demo, or even purchase the game for yourself. And if you are a fan of games like Octopath Traveler, then definitely do listen up here, because this is like really Octopath in all but name. The first thing that I noticed, of course, was the graphics. Everything is bright and cheery and gorgeous. At least it is in the present day, but the game doesn't start off in the present. It actually starts off in the past, and things are not looking good there in the past. You are dumped right into this like dying war camp where everybody looks like they are like ready for death, and they are just over it. Bodies are everywhere, morale's in the toilet, and people just want to get out of Dodge. And that there is where you're introduced to Captain Cole, who was just notified that he is a brand new father, and he's happy about that, and he wants to get home to a kid. But he can't, because the king notifies him that he basically needs to murder everybody there who can't fight and can't march. But Cole's a good guy. He wants no part of that. He's exhausted, he's angry, he's fed up, and because of that, he just kind of like explodes into a fit of rage, steals the king's own horse, and then rams into him at full speed, sending him careening off a cliff to his untimely demise. I guess that is one way to end a war. The game then just jumps 10 years later, the world's still going on, just there's nobody on the throne, there's nobody in charge. And that is where Ash and Clover show up. They're two kids just like trying to survive, but they got arrested for stealing some bread. And of course, as we all know, this is a jrpg, so they're not arrested for very long. They break out of jail, they get caught up in a forest on a dark and stormy night, they run into evil cultists and like demon spawn, before Ash literally throws himself into a portal straight to hell. Yeah, this game ain't playing around, this is the real deal. After all that setup, all that craziness, you're now kind of like left alone with Ash, and your real journey is able to begin. Your journey to collect the ancient relics, save Clover, and defeat the evil demonic cult once and for all. Now, as you may have already noticed as I went through my story overview and synopsis, there's something that I do need to say. The game is still definitely a work in progress, and you can tell, especially in regards to the English translation. There's some text that kind of like pours over to the next line, there's some errors, and you might even see some like Chinese text still pop up. Not only that, there's also no voice acting either. Not even in Chinese or Japanese, there's just no voice acting at all whatsoever. However, again, like I said, this just entered early access, it is still a work in progress. And I also went out ahead and I reached out to the company, and they did assure me that they do have a group of human translators, working diligently on it to make it as smooth as possible whenever it does fully release to the public. But in the meantime, do just be wary that this will be the case and you might run into certain things like that. The maps themselves are gorgeous and filled to the brim with all sorts of like little secrets, sparklies for crafting, treasure chests and locked chests, statues to restore your health, and even like a little mini map to help you get around. Not only that, but there's also like a much larger map that you can utilize to see the whole world, and then like fast travel and teleport between the various towns and the various locations and caves and things like that. As I did say before, the combat is turn-based, and it almost reminds me of something like Live Alive or Radiant Historia. Essentially, you have like this 3x3 grid, and you have your 9 squares on your side and the 9 squares on the enemy's side. And obviously, your characters in the back row, they'll be more protected, and then your characters in the front row will take damage and, take more damage and also deal more damage. And each character can equip up to 3 different special skills, and then depending on like the power of that skill, it might just hit 1 square, or it could hit like an entire vertical row or horizontal column, and then hit all sorts of different enemies with it. But your regular basic attacks won't use any AP. The more powerful attacks, though, might use some AP. And in a really nice quality of life feature, you can speed up the battle up to 3 times its base speed. You'll see your AP gauge on the bottom of the screen. It's indicated by like little blood droplets, and you gain additional AP after you defeat each monster. However, kind of like Super Mario RPG, everybody does draw from that same AP pool. So you kind of like doing like a little give and take, like a little tug of war, a little push and pull of whether you should exhaust all of your AP right now for like a super powerful attack or save it up for later on in the fight. Or maybe have like a character defend or spirit up to gain more AP so the characters can use the more powerful skills. It's all up to you how you want to approach the battle system. Then there's this progression system, which is really freaking cool, because if you think that you're just going to be earning like experience points and gaining levels like a normal RPG, think again. Y'all got another thing coming, because there ain't no levels here at all, none whatsoever. Instead, after you kill monsters, they'll drop what's known as a star stone, and then you'll use those star stones in the status screen to decide which stats to raise. You can really like fine tune up your party the way that you want it to be. You can make your hero well-rounded, or you could save all like your wisdom star stones for your mages and your strength star stones for your attackers. It's completely up to you how you want to do this, and different enemies will drop different star stones. So you can go around and do that. It's a really fun way to customize each character. In addition to like the stat customization, there's also star residences, which is another form of customization. There's ones for attack, defense, and then support, and then there's also rainbow ones, which are essentially like character-specific star residences that only one specific character can actually equip. You can mix and match the attacking, defending, or supporting one to whoever you want to, and you can mix and match them around to make your characters as powerful as possible. Personally, I loved using the Herbalist star residence because it gave me like a 50% chance of using a healing herb after combat, after each turn in combat, and it worked wonders in keeping my hero alive. And look, also, I don't really know what kind of budget they're working with, but the music feels great for an indie game of this size. There were moments whenever I had to like stop and look and take in the scenery and listen to the music. It was just that good. I was getting like PlayStation 1 flashbacks, because I remember as a kid in high school turning on the PlayStation 1 just to listen to like the Final Fantasy VII overworld music, and then starting to do my homework while listening to that music. And I could totally see myself doing the same thing today with this music. Instead, I wouldn't be doing any homework, I would be doing editing and scripting and things like that. It's just that good. And y'all know me. I love exploring in an RPG. It's one of my favorite things to do, and this exploration reminded me a lot of the exploration in Octopath Traveler, where you're kind of like roaming around a 2D map and you run into a cave or an encampment, or just kind of like a tucked away treasure chest. You never know what you're going to find around every corner, and I just loved that. So yeah, nowadays it can be really hard for indies to kind of like carve out their own space, you know what I mean? And a lot of really good ones do get left in the dust because of that. They're just not well known enough. But, there are just so many games coming out right now that it's hard to keep up with them. So unfortunately, some do fall to the wayside, and that is why I'm here to tell you about Spark Ignites, because it would be really a shame if you didn't get a chance to try it out. It is a whole lot of fun, though again, it is still a little bit rough around the edges in early access. It is completely ambitious, has a thrilling story, a great battle system, and a whole lot of heart. So if you like Live Alive, Octopath Traveler, or just kind of like a great story-driven turn-based RPG, then you will definitely want to try this one out. And remember, there is a completely free demo that you can grab today. So try it out, you've literally got nothing to lose, and you'll know immediately if this is your thing. And if you guys like finding weird, cool, strange, off-the-beaten-track RPGs before anybody else does, please be sure to level up and join our party by subscribing, dropping a like, and letting me know what you think of the game in the comments. And as always, have a good day.